The cameras were fixed on Buckingham Palace, the historic heart of the British monarchy, a place that has witnessed generations of kings, queens, triumphs, crises, and defining moments that shaped the crown. To the outside world, it appeared to be another ordinary royal morning. The palace stood as it always had, calm and majestic, hiding its secrets behind centuries-old walls. Yet inside, events were unfolding that would send shockwaves through royal circles and spark questions about the future of the monarchy itself. The document that triggered it all was remarkably short. It contained no dramatic language, no emotional declarations, and no public announcement. Yet when King Charles III placed his signature on the final page, the consequences were enormous. With a single decision, one of the most delicate and symbolic titles in modern royal history was fundamentally altered. Camilla had begun that day carrying the title of Queen Consort, a designation that represented years of struggle, controversy, public scrutiny, and eventual acceptance. But by the time the king's order was finalized, the future constitutional language surrounding that title had been changed. There was no grand ceremony to mark the moment, no televised address, no official gathering of senior royals, just a monarch, a pen, and a decision that left palace officials stunned into silence. What made the move so significant was not merely the wording itself, it was what the wording represented. For years, Camilla's journey into public acceptance had been one of the most difficult transformations in modern royal history. The title of Queen Consort had become more than a formal designation. It had become proof that she had finally secured a permanent place within the institution after decades of criticism and resistance. Inside Buckingham Palace, King Charles entered a private briefing room where senior constitutional advisors were already waiting. The atmosphere was serious. The matter before them was not routine. It concerned the future structure of royal succession and how certain titles would be recognized in future reigns. The king carefully reviewed the documents placed before him. He read them once. Then he read them again. Witnesses later recalled that he removed his glasses and remained silent for several moments before requesting the final page. The room remained completely still. A succession order may sound technical, but its significance is profound. It helps define how royal responsibilities, titles, traditions, and authority transition from one reign to another. The language used within such documents can shape the monarchy for generations. Charles made no requests for revisions. He offered no last-minute changes. Instead, he signed. With that signature, future succession and continuity documents would no longer automatically preserve the Queen Consort designation beyond the current reign. It was a constitutional decision, but it carried deeply personal consequences. After signing, the king did not immediately stand. Instead, he rested his hands against the table and appeared visibly weighed down by the decision. According to accounts later recorded by palace insiders, he quietly remarked that he had postponed this decision longer than he should have. The statement revealed something significant. This was not an impulsive action. It was a choice that had been developing for months. Meanwhile, at Clarence's house, Camilla received the documents privately. She began reading while standing. As she moved through the pages, her expression gradually changed. By the time she reached the final paragraphs, she lowered herself into a chair and continued reading in silence. The realization was immediate. What she had considered a permanent recognition of her place within royal history was now being redefined. Then came another unexpected discovery. Attached to the order was a confidential circulation list showing which senior royals had been informed of the changes. Among the names was Prince William. That detail captured her attention more than anything else. She continued staring at his name long after she had finished reading the rest of the document. At the same time, King Charles instructed palace staff to distribute the signed papers before lunch, ensuring the decision entered official channels immediately. One advisor reportedly hesitated, perhaps wondering if there was still time for reconsideration. The king's response was brief. "It stands. The decision would not be reversed." When Camilla began asking questions, her first concern was not the title itself. Instead, she wanted to know who had convinced Charles to act at this particular moment. When William's name was mentioned, her reaction changed dramatically. Because beneath the constitutional language lay something far more complicated. This was not simply a dispute about titles. It was the collision of three individuals, each convinced they were protecting the monarchy in their own way.